Hey, welcome to Viking Preparedness. I'm Pastor Joe Fox. You know, we're finishing up getting the exterior done. We're closing in on it. We haven't got the siding up yet on this house that we're building here at Shofar Mountain. It's going to be an off-grid home. That means we have no utilities, no commercial power or water coming into the home, which is not to say we won't have electricity and we won't have water, but we're just not paying for it directly. We won't have a bill. And anyway, we probably will go to solar eventually. And one thing that's really difficult to do with solar is air conditioning. I haven't figured out solar yet, to be quite honest. That'll be a next big project we have. But from everything I've read, you just can't do air conditioning. And so we made this house with opposing doors and windows all the way across the house. You can open up a door and go from one side to the other. Same thing with windows so that the air can go through. Because really keeping it warm isn't going to be a problem. We're going to have 2 wood stoves in this house, both overrated for the size of the house. So the house will stay warm. We're going to insulate it and everything like that. But keeping it cool, it gets hot here in the Ozarks in the summertime. And so this was an idea I came up with. I've seen it elsewhere. I've seen it in Asia. The Viking homes had it and things like that, but it's a cupula on the roof, and let me just show it to you and talk about it a little bit. So what we're going to do, this doghouse sitting on my roof, let me back up here a little bit. We're going to obviously sheet the top and shingle it and everything, but if you look at it, I've got it screened in. And so those screens will be open. Can you see that? Those screens will be open underneath the roof, and so the hot air in the house can rise and come up out through those screens, and yet the rain won't be able to go in there. We're going to screen the ends a little bit, and then what we're going to do is put siding. Let me see if I can get this good. We're going to put siding right here and across, and then on the side over here on the bottom and across too, so it'll match the house. We're using hardy plank siding because it's cement and it's fire resistant. You can put it up and never have to deal with it again. I really wanted to do a metal roof, but I only had so much money to work with on this house, and I just couldn't budget a metal roof. So someday if I get a job or something that pays more than I get now, maybe we'll put a metal roof on. And the reason I wanted a metal roof was fire resistance, and it's one of those put it on and kind of forget about it kind of things. Also, we couldn't afford it. That was the main reason. But the other thing was, I was a little anxious about putting on a metal roof, never having done it before and wanting to make sure it was done right. I've done shingles before, and they turned out fine. This right here, this black stuff you see, is a roof vent. Here's the one upside down right here. And basically, there's a crack in the top between the sheeting that's underneath this roof. The sheeting comes up to within about 1.5 inches of the peak on both sides, and then it's tar papered, and then we put this over it, and so that way the hot air can come up from the soffits. We'll have a vent down at the bottom of the soffits, come up, flow over top of the insulation, and then up out of the roof too. And so we're trying to do everything we can to keep the house cool in summertime. And so, hey, that's what we're doing. There's our cupula. I think it looks cool. My wife said what we ought to do is make it look like a Viking cupula, put some kind of extension, let me see if I can do this right, going up this way and up that way that goes beyond the peak, because that's kind of what Viking roofs used to look like. But, yeah, I don't know. All right, we'll see you out there.